Well, I came to New York City pretty late, but I did spend time in Central Park. And every time I looked around, there was a Zozo. Well, one day, I noticed there weren't any Zozos around. What happened to them?
The Zozophorus, or Zozo, it's a creature thought to be extinct. We had lots of them in America for a lot of years, but they're not extinct. There's at least one. I am Donald Druthers. I have a PhD in crypto-zoology from the University of Phoenix. Zozos were introduced to New York originally probably in the 1700s. No one knows for sure, but they started really cropping up in contemporary accounts in the newspapers and the various broadsheets right around the time that New York became a real bustling metropolis. If you look closely at old photographs of the Lower East Side, for example, you'll see how much they loved push carts and vendors, children playing stickball.
They were in the streets. The streets were more active, a little bit safer, weren't so many cars going fast. People used public spaces, and streets were sort of a part of a public space. And the Zozos were a part of this environment. You know, they ran around, they were friendly, they never attacked people, they especially liked children.
That was before the automobile and before the cars and the choking pollution that really drove them into their reclusive state.
They began to thin out, you know, even before World War II, as we made the streets wider and the sidewalks smaller for cars, and just doesn't seem like they loved the city that much.
This replaced what used to be prime Zozo habitat. Zozos, I should point out, are very friendly sort of urban creatures that used to congregate here. They would play, they would sing. You know, these are sort of urban manatees. However, an invasive species began to emerge called Automobilis americanus. These arrived from Detroit.
Yeah, go, buddy. Go. Go.
Get in.
Animals go extinct for a reason, and it's because they have failed to adapt as the world changes. And they have failed to grow into creatures that can survive the changing demands of a growing world. You know, that's evolution. That's Darwin.
Livable streets are more quiet, they're peaceful, they have bicycles, things like that. That's the kind of thing the Zozo is attracted to.
There was a horse-drawn streetcar line that ran right down this street that we're on. Some people feel that they were attracted to that kind of transportation because it was car-free transportation, and so they would often hitch a free ride. We're happy to find that people are beginning to take the Zozo seriously, and of course there's scientific evidence. There are people who have been looking at it, in particular one young scientist who's come to our meetings to find out if we have seen Zozo in auto-free space.
Have I ever seen a Zozo? No, but I've never seen a tiger either, and those obviously exist. You have to have faith. Each of these pins is a Zozo sighting recently.
The senior was telling me about having trouble crossing the street, and she said some big creature, fuzzy purple creature, came and helped her cross the street, and she showed me this little piece of purple fuzz. I don't know what that is.
I felt this kind of presence behind me, and I turned and I saw this wonderful big furry creature, and it sort of winked a little and smiled, and then it was gone.
We went back to this neighborhood after some speed humps and some curb extensions and some daylighting treatments had been installed. And I remember slipping on something on the concrete, and I just thought it was just like, you know, dog poop or something. I looked under my shoe, and it was purple.
The Zozo is the whole reason why I did the No Impact Project. I mean, what happened was I was having these dreams at night, and the Zozo was coming. So the Zozo said, I will come to you in real life if you try to live really environmentally. I got a bike because I thought if I biked around, I'd see the Zozo more.
This is, unfortunately, a very hostile environment for the Zozo. If we were to put up caution tape over every hostile environment, you would need caution tape that is 14 million miles long.
I don't think we'd find Zozo here because Zozo would be scared to death of this vehicle. I'm scared to death of this vehicle. I'm afraid to even cross the street because these come out of the clear blue and wham.
I don't carry a weapon. Well, this is a weapon. No, it's not it's my sweetheart. I'm sorry. So I go down to Washington, and I just am there saying, hold up, what about cars? This is a city for people who have to get things done, and they need cars to get things done.
I haven't seen a Zozo yet, but, I think if I sit here long enough, there's a pretty good chance that I might see one. And, I mean, I've been trying to see one. I really want to see one.
At great personal expense, I've hired my own multi-camera camera crew so that we can document this search.
We come out all the time to streets like this, and you can see behind me, this is a street that once had rail on it, and also has cobblestone streets. It's kind of like a traffic calmed area, a very quiet area.
We've set up a hotline at 555-ZOZO, and we monitor that while we're in the office. We ask the public, please call in if you think you've seen the creature.
Hey guys, we got a code purple on Main Street.
You serious?
Yeah, we gotta go.
Let's go.
So this is kind of typical, we got to call, public space, Zozo, nothing though, nothing.
We've seen on our video cameras some evidence of what looks like a creature they used to call a Zozo. We've seen it use some of our newer public spaces and interact with people occasionally. They don't seem all that scared by it. We treat it just like our regular New Yorker.
I've not seen it myself, but some kids have gone home and say, hey, there's this furry thing, purple, and we really like it.
Well, we came out because we wanted to play and have a good time, and it was a safe and sunny day, and there were no cars, and all of a sudden when we were playing, we turned around and this big creature came in our way.
It had brown eyelashes, it was purple, and it was really big. We were playing jump rope and hopscotch.
Zozo was the kind of animal in an urban landscape that if you saw your child playing with, you could be like, that's a good thing.
So be patient, let the Zozo come to me.
Yeah, it's 2 hours, but the sun is just coming out here. I think if we wait long enough, we're gonna see a Zozo.
I was out for my usual run, and I passed this blur. It was kind of like a bear, but purple. I tried to explain what I saw to my husband, and he didn't really understand what I meant, so I drew a picture to kind of show what the creature looks like. It was purple all over. It had this long snout and kind of a fringe on the top, kind of like this. I drew 2 of these. The eyes are what I remember the most. It was just staring right at me. Never seen anything like that before.
When we were laying down the gravel surface that we use on Broadway, the epoxy hadn't dried completely. It was drying overnight. When we came back the next day, we saw these big footprints in the gravel.
I've seen bear footprints, but actually bigger than bear footprints. And I stopped and looked at it, and it just had crossed the area. I was at a loss.
I have some lovely kids here, and I want the world that they live in to be safe for them to play. And that same environment that's safe for kids is the exact sort of environment that Zozos thrive in. So when I'm working to make our world safe for kids, I'm also working to restore Zozo habitat.
I always hope that I'll see it again. We have a lot of really great places in this city, and the one thing that I noticed is that when I saw it, I was in one of those places. So I'm always looking out for it.
There's a Zozo!
Zozo? I think I'm to the point where I'm starting to believe that this actually really might be a real thing.
Now that we are moving in the direction of more plazas and making the streets more friendly to bicycles and pedestrians, I think many of us are really hoping that we'll begin to see the Zozos again, because it made the city such an exciting and friendly place, and it can be that way again.
I'm just really excited that we're doing something about this city and making it so that the Zozo will totally come back.
Maybe they will see the furry purple animal.
Of course I'll see one. I have faith because we know there are Zozos. We think we're very close to them. There's at least one.
What I don't understand is why, if they hate cars so much, they don't move to rural Wyoming. Go there.